Welcome to EnfinityCast, the podcast that explores the pivotal moments and movements that have shaped our world. I'm your host, Elias Whitlock. Today, we're delving into a story of rebellion, sacrifice, and ultimately, triumph. We're talking about the suffragettes and their relentless fight for a right we so often take for granted, the right to vote. And joining me to navigate this incredible piece of history is the ever-insightful Vesper Thorne. Vesper, welcome.
It's a pleasure, Elias. This is a topic that feels both historic and incredibly relevant. To really grasp the significance of the suffragettes, we have to remember the world they inhabited, a world where women were legally and socially subordinate to men, viewed as second-class citizens with no voice in the laws that governed their lives.
Absolutely. And for decades, the campaign for women's suffrage, led by groups known as the Suffragists, was peaceful. They wrote letters, signed petitions, held orderly marches, but progress was agonizingly slow. The political establishment simply ignored them.
Which brings us to a pivotal shift. In 1903, Emmeline Pankhurst and her daughters founded the Women's Social and Political Union, the WSPU. Their motto became deeds, not words. They had decided that if polite society wouldn't listen, they would have to force it to.
And those deeds were designed to disrupt and demand attention. We're talking about tactics that were genuinely shocking for the Edwardian era. They chained themselves to the railings at Buckingham Palace, smashed shop windows with hammers, set fire to pillar boxes, and even engaged in arson against unoccupied buildings. They were, in essence, waging a campaign of civil disobedience on a scale never before seen from women.
The goal wasn't just chaos, though. It was strategic. Every broken window, every arrest guaranteed a newspaper headline. It kept the issue of women's suffrage on the front page and forced a national conversation. But this came at an immense personal cost.
The authorities responded with immense force. Thousands of women were arrested and imprisoned, often in brutal conditions. And it's in prison that one of the movement's most harrowing and powerful tactics emerged, the hunger strike.
By refusing food, these women were protesting their status as political prisoners and were willing to die for their cause. The government, terrified of creating martyrs, instituted a truly horrific policy of force feeding. It was a torturous procedure, and when news of it leaked to the public, it backfired spectacularly on the authorities, generating a wave of sympathy for the suffragettes.
It exposed a profound hypocrisy, a so-called civilized government inflicting such brutality on its own citizens for simply demanding a voice. This public relations victory, born from incredible suffering, was a major turning point.
And it led to their triumph. While the outbreak of World War I put a temporary halt to their militant activities as they contributed to the war effort, their pre-war campaign had fundamentally changed the political landscape. They had proven their commitment and resilience.
Exactly. In 1918, the Representation of the People Act was passed, granting the vote to property-owning women over the age of 30. It wasn't full equality yet, that would come a decade later, but it was the monumental victory they had fought and suffered for.
The legacy of the suffragettes is complex. Their tactics were controversial, even divisive, but they demonstrated that a determined, organized, and uncompromising movement could challenge the foundations of power and win. They wrote a new chapter in the playbook of social protest.
A powerful and enduring legacy indeed. Thank you for that incredible insight, Vesper. And thank you all for tuning in to EnfinityCast. Join us next time as we explore another story that shaped our world.